Hi everyone, this is Cass from Cass's Creations and Boom Gel Stain. I just want to do a quick video. So this is a circular canvas I've got. I think it's 16 centimetres or 20 centimetres in diameter, I can't recall. And what I've done off camera, or before I started recording, is just lay down some of our sterling wax white. And I've actually got quite a moderate amount down, and the reason I've done that is because I know that our white is quite light, so with a lot of the colours of Boom it will float up and my other colours will sink down, and that creates lots of pearl cells, which is what I'm going for with this technique, hence why I've got a heavier background. Alright, so what am I going to do? I'm just going to probably do a little ribbon pour, and then I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so I've taken a photo and I will add that onto this video of the colours that I'm using as well, just so you can put them to memory. But what am I going to start with? I think I might start with our pearlescent dark blue. And what am I going to do? I might actually start off around here. So what I'm going to do, where am I? Yeah, pearlescent dark blue. I'm going to pop some of that down first. I'm envisioning a design here that comes across or spreads out. So I'm going to start off in here. And I don't actually need a great deal. Then what I'm going to do is, I don't have much left in this bottle because this is one of my favourite colours, Baronia Burgundy. While that runs down, I should have done this earlier. Oops. So I've got a fair bit of that. It is one of my favourite colours, and it really does create a lot of movement when it's put up with white. And this is Manna Crab Blue. Most of our blues will also create quite a bit of movement as well. And what I've got here is Pearlescent Fawn. It's one of our limited edition colours. Think of it as a warm silver. It's stunning. Alright, so normally I would put my pearlescents on the bottom because they are quite light and float up. I've set it on top. We'll just see what happens. I want that to be one of the star colours, so I'm happy for that to stay there. So, oh, look at all the stuff I've just put on here. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm trying to avoid getting my head in the camera. So I'm going to bring this up and I'm literally just going to blow it around to move the colours. Alright, so all I've done is just blown it, just to blend some of those colours a little bit. It's hard. I'm looking in the camera and it's actually not quite showing up very good. The photos should help. Anyway, they look gorgeous together. So now what I'm going to do is actually do a really rough abstract bloom. So I'm going to blow out just some abstract petals, but they won't stay like that, so it doesn't matter. It's just easy to explain. So I'm going to blow out from the centre and spread. It's really hot here today, and Boom is quite thick, which is actually a good thing. But it can, when it's warm, it's quite tricky to blow or get that movement happening. So all I've done there is put some extra product down, and that will actually help me move. But you can already see we've got some movement happening here. So let me just, okie dokes. So you can see what I mean by an abstract bloom. It's really just, I'm pushing from the centre and outwards. So I just used my mouth to get movement for that, but you can use a straw, a little mini blower. It depends on your personal preference, really. Okie doke. So what I then tend to do is I like to let my piece just sit for 10 minutes. And that's just so that it evolves and starts to create. I give it time to create its movement. So boom moves a lot on its own. So I'll just bring this up to the camera. But the colours are stunning. I hope they're coming across. They're just so pretty. So now I'm going to pause the video and I'm just going to let it sit or rest for 10 minutes. And I will tap that down. I've created a few little bubbles there. So that's all I have to do there. And then I'm going to leave it to rest. Okay, this has been resting for about 10 minutes. If I wasn't recording, I would leave it to rest longer because it's taking a little bit to start producing those natural cells. But you can see we've still got quite a few. I would usually have more, but I think because of the heat, it's actually quite slow, and I don't want it to take all day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my angled straw, and the reason I use this is because it will actually blow my colour across the white rather than blowing it down. So, and that's what I want. I'm wanting to create some really pretty feathery movements coming out. So, but what I might do, honestly, I wouldn't normally have to do this, but because it is so hot, I should have known. Well, I did know, and I went, you know what, I can still get creative when it's warm, and you can. And you don't necessarily always have to use a great deal of product either. I could be spritzing this with a mist of water, and that will definitely help it move. So if you're on a tight budget, you can also boom in the warmer weather, but just spritz with a little bit of water and not a lot. Okay, so I'm just going to blow out some tendrils. So I'll start moving this around a little bit. I love it when you see the colours just blend a little bit. It's so pretty. Hope you guys do too. All right, I'm just going to bring this over this way. And do remember to tap off your straw because condensation will build up in there. Spin her around. I'm going to work over this side. Going. I'm just going to bring this back around. Sorry guys, I know I'm bringing this out of your focus, but it's so my head stays out. So okay. All right, let me get back into the center. All right, so we've got some movement. We're nowhere near finished, of course, although some people might like how it's looking, but for me, I know I'm heading somewhere different. Okay, so in the past, I would sometimes, if I'm wanting to create or spread that feathering out, I would put it on a lazy Susan and spin it, or tilt it out a bit. But because of our weather, I'm not going to do that. All right, so what I'm going to do is first I'm just going to go down to around this area. I'm going to do a balloon kiss, and I'll put this over here so you guys can see me. Oops. Jeepers, I just bumped the whole thing. I'm sorry. Okay. Let me see. I might go around here. Okay. So that's that. And normally I would wipe off my balloon, but I might actually keep it on just because it is so warm. If my colours start becoming too blended, then I'll rethink it. Okay. So you can see here, the centre should just level out, and if it doesn't, I can just fill it with some white or a colour. And here I just joined it up just by simply doing a little finger kiss. Even if I add boom to the centre now, I'm just going to do it just so you go, oh, maybe I'll just do it over here. So you can see that's elevated, there's a blob, but boom will still dry completely level. So that's one really good thing about boom. I could work on a piece for hours, and I have done. I've got a huge canvas, which is a cherry blossom piece that I take to my shows, and it took me about 5 hours in total, but it's massive. And I just kept that spritzed with a fine mist of water, and I was able to work on it for that long, so I love that. And I can add to it and it will still dry completely level. So I think this is really pretty. There's an area in here I don't like, but I might just, I don't know, I'll look at it and see. Here I think I'm going to come up. And maybe some more here. It's quite dry. So all I've done is just put a dot of boom directly onto the bottle. I might actually add a bit more. And I've just added some mana crab blue to that as well. So now I've got way too much product there, and you can see it's mounted up, but that's fine. And I'm going to use this. So I've still got the mana crab blue on there, and I would like to introduce some more blue over to here. So all I'm doing is just creating some movement. And I know it looks scrappy and messy, but it will all come into focus very soon, and it will look lovely, I promise. Maybe we'll go around this way for that one. Okay, I'm going to wipe that off. I wish I had a bigger balloon actually. So let me just... Okay, that. So take it down again. Okie dokes. What am I going to do? So I lost that little balloon kiss I had over here, but that's okay because I didn't like that area anyway. So I'm just gonna see, that's pretty. I've just got some of the stuff that I wiped off my balloon. I've just used that to fill that a little bit. Okay. I just want it to come down a little bit over the edges. I like having, and I'll show you it when it's finished, but I do like having some runoff on the edges. I think it just helps extend the piece and give it a really nice flow or some really nice fluid movements to it. Okay, I'm going to go over here. So, what am I going to do? All right. To do that, I might add a little bit of the okie doke. So I'm just going to blend this around a little bit. Actually, I might blow it just a tad. This looks like. It's quite pretty. You can see how difficult it is to move at the moment with this weather. Gosh, what was I thinking? So usually by now I'd be like, oh, I love it, but I'm not. But that's okay. Everything is fixable. Okay, what I'm going to do is just on my, I hope you can see that. See, I've got the tiniest amount of product, just some little dots. Oops. Okay, that was a bit too much. I just want some little dots. I often do this. My baking paper ends up becoming like my little palette or my paper towel. So what I might do is I might bring in, so see how I've blended that on my fingertips? So I'm just going to push that down there. It's just giving it a bit more structure now. So me, I can see I'm creating more of a focal point now. hope you guys can see that too. There we go. I'm going to remove some of that bulk. I'm really happy with that now. So over here, I've got to fix up over here too. I've lost my focal point a bit. And this is really good because if there's a colour you want to introduce more, you can. You literally just add it and dab it and okay. See, isn't that pretty? Oh, what's that there? I don't know. So I might just make a little one there or do something. I don't like that little spot. But let's just... There we go, that's a bit better. That's pretty. So now it looks like there's another little small bloom there. So I've got structure here, structure there. I would like to just that's cute. Let me just dab off some of that white. The reason I'm dabbing off the excess is because as it levels out, I'll move some of that, I'll lose some of that definition. But if I take away the excess, I'm not going to. So I think that's better. And now here, so I've lost my center focal point. I'm just gonna, okay. Oops. Okay. I'm just going to blow that out just a little bit, and that's just to help spread it out. And you'll notice my paper towel and everything's going everywhere. Boom will just wipe off very easily off sealed surfaces. Let's bring that back around. Let's have a look. Okie dokes. I am kind of happy with that. I just want this a bit wider. Okay. So if I end up, often what I'll do is if I'm wanting to create a focal point and it's disappeared or it's sunk down or it's just not standing out enough, I'll just go and embellish it later, either with Boom or a paint pen, whatever I decide. So I think that's quite pretty. I can see I've lost my focal points quite a bit, so what I might do is just pop down. So it might not stand out just yet, but once this is dry, it will look fantastic. These are, because this is a pearlescent, and once they dry, the metallic sheen is just incredible. That one's still got a bit of product in it, so I'm just going to clear it a bit. There we go. And I might just bring... Okay. I promise it'll all make sense once it's dry. What I've done there with that, and then I'll add a little bit here. Okay. Alright, and now I'm just going to add a few little kisses with my fingertips, and I'll just go and use the stuff that's straight on here. So I want to kind of add something here. That's pretty. And then I'm going to have these little peaks of the pearlescent, so it just looks really, really nice. And I'm going to do some with my fawn as well, which has kind of vanished from all of it, actually. So let me just mix some of the two. Maybe I'll... There we go. Isn't that stunning? So hopefully I don't lose it all. Like, I'm going to lose some of it. It will, you know, as it levels out, I'm going to lose a little bit of my effects or my results, but actually I might not lose much of it at all today because it's so warm. And I need to introduce some more fawn down here, so I might just bring it around here.